I'm sure I've possibly related this incident that I'm going to talk about before here in the parish, but I think it's appropriate to the lighting of our candle this evening. And when I was in campus ministry, I led several delegations of college students from Western Michigan, Michigan State, to do some mission work in northern Mexico. And one of those occasions, we went out to a village that was quite high in the mountains in the state of Tamaulipas. And it was a stormy day, very foggy and misty, and the rain was heavy. And by the time we were ready to leave, we were driving around this road, and this great chauffeur of the time managed to find the biggest mud hole that you could find. And we were stuck. And we were quite disillusioned at the moment because we were out of nowhere. And we couldn't call a tow truck. We didn't know exactly what we were going to do. We tried pushing, it wouldn't work. And we were getting to a point almost of hopelessness. And we're going to spend a long night out in this messed up area. But then we saw a light, a little flickering light, pretty distant away. And we said, well, maybe somebody's there. And so we trudged through the mud, and sure enough, we came upon a very simple home where a candle was lit. You had no electricity there. And we told them our plight, and they all responded, several young people living there. And they went out and followed us to the vehicle, and they offered to push us and tried to keep the girls in our group from doing it. It was very macho of them, but wonderful. But our girls insisted, no way, we're tough as these guys are. And eventually they were able to push us out, and the mud was splattered all over us. And we eventually get on to the road, and the chauffeur stayed on the road for the rest of the time. And what was really something was that candle that we spotted was really a sign of hope for us, because we didn't know what was going to happen for the rest of that evening. And I think Advent is really meant to be a season of hope, that it's not just a season to get ready for Christmas, but really a season of hope. But sadly, for many people, they're tired of hoping. After months and years of waiting for things to change in their lives, they begin to wonder if it is time to give up. For years, they have been waiting for healing within their families. They have tried numerous times to bring estranged relatives together to resolve past hurts. They wonder if it makes sense to keep waiting, to keep hoping for some kind of reconciliation. Many have been waiting for someone to love them, for someone to understand and to enjoy them, for someone to build a life and a family together with them. How many times these hopes ended in disappointment? Does it make sense to keep hoping that the right person will come into our life? How many have been waiting for their problems to be solved, for their sickness to be healed, and for their grief at a lost one to end? It is easy to think that there is no hope when all our dreams seem to end in frustration. The gospel today, in this season of Advent, reminds us not to give up. It reminds us that the foundation of our hope is not what happened to us in the past, but what God intends to do for us in the future. Today's gospel shows great turmoil on the earth, in distress among nations. But its real message is that underneath that turmoil, God is working to change things. God is working to establish his kingdom. It is God's action which is the foundation of our hope. We can always stand in hope because we believe that God is always working to change things and to bring us to salvation. This next little story, I want to make it clear, I don't understand a thing about chess. And so, but it's a story about a painting which is called Checkmate. Maybe some of you have seen it. I looked up the painting on good old Google, and it didn't help me at all. But this painting is entitled Checkmate, and it shows a scene of a young man playing chess with the devil. And the artist has seized upon the moment when the devil has made a decisive move. He has checkmated the young man's king. You can see the satisfaction on the devil's face, as well as the fear and surprise on the face of the young man. The artist shows where the position of the chess pieces are on the board, and many who understand the game of chess, and I'm not one of them, have examined that painting and agreed that the game was over, that the move of the devil was decisive, and that he had won. Now, Paul Murphy, who was a renowned world chess player, was once asked to look at the picture. He gazed at it for a long time and suddenly saw something that no one had ever seen before. He realized that there was yet a strategy that the young man could undertake. In his excitement over the discovery, Murphy cried out to the young man in the picture, "Don't give up. You still have a move. You still have a move." That is the message of Advent. For us who sometimes get discouraged, don't give up. The game is not over. Keep watching and waiting. You will find a way out. There's always a way out. Despite all the failures and disappointments of the past, despite all the lost opportunities, God is still acting. New opportunities will emerge. The devil has not won. You still have a move, and there still is hope. The focus of this season of Advent is not all the work that we have to do, but it's really about the work God is going to do with us. We are called to wait in hope for what God will do. God can touch us in his kindness that we did not expect, or a healing that we did not imagine. We could be surprised with joy as we turn the next corner, and such a gift can more than compensate for all that this season entails. We are to wait in hope for a God who still stands with us in our loss. We can be blessed by a friend who knows our pain and can comfort us without the needs of words. We can find the strength to celebrate family meal, leaving with more thanksgiving for what we have than depression over what we have lost. We wait in hope for God to act. Maranatha. We believe that God will do so. Our God is a God who loves us, and we are sons and daughters who God will never forget or leave our prayer unanswered.